For algebras, chapter 2, section 4, we're going to be learning about how to solve two-step and multi-step equations, So the first example we're going to look at, and the first way we can solve them, is to solve each inequality and then graphing the solution. So if I have the inequality that is 160 plus 4f is less than or equal to 500. So the first thing I'm going to do is our goal, actually I should say, is to get f all by itself. So to do that, I have to take away everything away from it. So I'm going to first start with the 160. So I'm going to subtract 5 from 500, 160. So then I'm left with 4f is less than or equal to 340. So now I have 4 times f, so I want to do the opposite operation. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4. So 340 divided by 4. This side I'm left with f is less than or equal to 85. So now I need to do a graph. And you guys know how I roll. I'm going to start my graph right here on this end at 85. I don't know, 25. I'm not doing obvious good numbers, but so that we could see. So I've got right here, I am less than or equal to. So that means, everyone, that we are going to put a circle and fill it in because that means that it's equal to. And then because it's less than, I'm going to draw a line this way because it's smaller than that number. All right, so let's look at another example. Okay, so this time we're going to look at the equation of 7 minus 2t is less than or equal to 21. So again, we've got to move this whole number over to the other side. So to do that, I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. So I'm left with negative 2t is less than or equal to 14. So I need to get now rid of this negative 2. So I'm going to do the opposite operation and divide both sides by negative 2. So I'm left with t is less than or equal to negative 7. Remember, if we have an odd number of negative signs, my answer is going to be negative when we're multiplying or dividing integers. So now I need to graph my equation. So t is less than or equal to negative 7. So I'm going to start here, and we're going to do, I'm going to do it in 5 increments. And we're just going to do negative numbers, negative 10, negative 15. Okay, so I'm going to, because it's less than or equal to, I am going to fill in my line right about negative 7. So I make the circle, and it's less than, so that means it's going to be going to the left. So t is less than or equal to negative 7. The second way we're going to look at solving the inequalities is simplifying before we solve it out. So if I have the equation negative 4 plus negative 8 is less than negative 5c minus 2. So before I do anything, before I move this over to the other side here, I'm going to simplify this part right here. So I've got negative 4 plus negative 8 is negative 12. So I have negative 12 is less than negative 5c minus 2. So now I'm going to take this negative 2 and I need to move it to the other side. So I'm going to add 2 on both sides. So negative 12 plus 2 gives me negative 10. Oops, sorry, pen's not writing. is less than negative 5c. So we've got to get c by itself, so I need to do the opposite operation and divide both sides by negative 5. So on this side, I'm left with c. Negative 10 divided by negative 5 is a positive 2, because when we have an even number of negative signs, our answer becomes positive. So now we're graphing the equation. 2 is less than c, or to kind of help me see it a little bit clearer, I'm going to reverse it and put the variable first, where c is greater than 2, okay? So this is what I am going to graph. So here is my number line, and I'm going to do a really short number line, 0. My pen's not writing. Sorry guys, here, 0. Okay, so I got my number line up. So I just have 0, 2, and 4. So c is greater than 2. I am going to make a circle, and I am not filling it in because it's not equal to. So it just says that c is greater than 4. All right, let's try this again. Our equation this time, though, is going to be negative 3 times 3 minus x is less than 4 squared. Okay, so I'm going to use the distributive property. Whenever we see this, we're going to automatically do that. So negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. Minus negative 3 times x is negative x. And you guys know how I feel. I always like to add the opposite so things are really clear for me. Then I've got less than. So 4 squared means 4 times 4. So that's 16. So I've simplified it out before I solved the variable, or the inequality, excuse me. So now I'm going to move things around so that I can isolate x by itself. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides of this equation, and I'm left with x is less than 16 plus 9 is 25. So x is greater than, or excuse me, is less than 25. So let's draw our number line, and let's do increments of 5, 10, 15. So remembering when we're doing our number line, it does not have to be super big, really, quite honestly. It could be small. I made it kind of big this time. So again, I'm going to draw a circle at 25. And because x is less than 25, I'm going to go to the left. And I'm not filling it in because it does not mean equal to. So just that's like one of the biggest things. If we could remember that, that would be great. So here are the do now equations. You have 4 do nows that you need to complete in your workbook. Please, please make sure you are both doing the solving and you are graphing.